What's up, SAC fans? I'm your host, Brittany Olaf, and this is your SAC Weekly Roundup. I hope everyone had a great weekend and a great start to their week. Let's jump right into some news from around the conference. First up, we have another live Zoom with Commissioner Britz tonight. If you need some updates or have any questions, be sure to check it out. The Zoom link can be found on our website. Catawba Athletics celebrated their annual Day of Giving. To read more on that, head over to any of their social medias. We had our annual SAC Squared meeting, as we like to call it, or otherwise known as the Student Athlete Advisory Committee meeting, this past Sunday. We are so proud of all of our athletes for their continued dedication to their institutions, and a special shout out to Lenore Ryan for being named the SAC Make-A-Wish Challenge winner of 2019-20, so keep up the great work. Lincoln Memorial gave out 450 of these t-shirts, which read, "We are one," to all of their athletes to signify that they are united and have each other's backs. Queens Triathlon alums have taken it upon themselves to join the fight against childhood hunger in America. If you want to read more on that, which I highly suggest, head over to their website. Don't forget, we have multiple schools from around the conference who have launched shows and podcasts, which are so fun to watch and listen, so be sure to take some free time and check them out. Former Limestone longtime women's basketball assistant coach Melissa DeVore has been named Coker women's basketball head coach, so congratulations to her. And speaking of Coker, I brought in senior wrestler Matthew Shields for another SAC Chat interview, so here it is. What's up, SAC fans, and welcome back to another SAC Chat episode. I'm here with Coker senior wrestler Matt Shields. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. All right, so let's jump right into some questions. The first being, what has it been like for you being back on campus with all of the new guidelines, and how might those new guidelines be affecting the way you all are practicing, considering you are a high-risk, close contact sport?
Well, to be back on campus is really nice because, other schools are shut down right now and you're not allowed to, be on campus and go to in-person classes. So definitely having that, being able to interact with professors and the other students is really cool, and just obviously helps your learning in the long run rather being on a screen the whole time. The guidelines with wearing a mask around campus, it kind of sucks, but it is what it is, and I'm definitely grateful to be able to still be in person. It definitely makes it really hard during practice to be like lifting weights in the weight room with that on, because when you're working out, you're breathing heavy, or especially conditioning and stuff like that. That definitely has a huge effect on you, and it's kind of like a big mental thing. But I keep my head straight and just like keep the big picture at the end of the tunnel. Like, yeah, I want to be a national champ. I want to train really hard for this, and it just keeps me, keeps the end goal there.
Well, that's awesome. So, you're like the fifth person I've interviewed that's like, I'm just so grateful to be here. So yeah, I think about all the time, like, I'm just grateful that like our conference gets to still be in session and we still get to do these kinds of things. And love the dedication to the mask. All these athletes, I'm like, oh my gosh, if I played volleyball in college, so I was like, I don't know how these athletes like do it. They're wearing masks constantly. I mean, it's all for the good. But
super difficult, I can tell you that, especially with like when we're doing sprints and stuff, whether it's out on the quad or going like on a run to Calmia, which is like 6 miles, something like that. That is heavy duty. And then also I don't have many masks, so I have like 3 of them. So I have 2 practices at least like a day, so sometimes even 3 when we have like a lift at night. So to keep on top of like washing them just in case, like, say, I don't know, one of my teammates or something got quarantined, like I have to make sure that all my stuff is clean and ready to go. So yeah,
the dedication.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I know that you transferred from, your last school was SUNY Ulster, which is in New York. where you were a 2-time national qualifier. So my question is, what brought you from New York to down south to be a coker?
Let me think. I'm trying to make a long story short. Well, I came down here, so I got my associates from SUNY Ulster. I got that in criminal justice. Coming out of high school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was all over the map. At one point, I wanted to go in the Air Force, and then the other part, I wanted to play sports in school. And I was a 3-time, I played sports 3 times, like 3 different sports during high school. So wrestling definitely came out on top. So I definitely chose that. And I didn't know exactly what I wanted to study in school, so I've been surrounded by the criminal justice realm and law enforcement and all that, and it just felt right to study something that I knew and was familiar with. So I went to Ulster, and they actually just started their program back up after like a 40-year hiatus or something like that. Like, it was completely brand new. So they only had 1 season before I came there as a freshman, and they had two national qualifiers. So I came and wrestled there underneath Coach Signorelli, and I was a national qualifier and took 3rd at our district tournament. And then the next year, my coach, who is now the new grad assistant coach here, Brian Voltanatus, he stepped in when Coach Signorelli left and went to Western New England. Now he's head coach at Alfred State. But Brian, he came in and just really developed me as an athlete, was always like on top of me. I was his go-to guy because he was brand new to the coaching realm. And he invested a bunch into me. Really crisped me up on my technique, taught me values of like being a man and growing up to be a good like young adult. And I was national qualifier for him too, and also took 2nd in our region to qualify for nationals. And that's where I became like their first 2-time national qualifier ever in the school's history, which was pretty cool, and did a lot of big things there. So I went to wrestle at Oneonta, and because I was getting recruited by schools all over the country, whether it was Johnson & Wales, who's like a top 10 D3 national program, Western New England, Castleton, bunch of schools. And actually Coker did come on my radar when Coach Nelson took over. Oh, I didn't really know where I wanted to go. I didn't know if I was going to be okay with being home or like being away from home, or I don't know. So Oneonta was a good choice at the time because it was only an hour and 20 minutes away from home. I could commute back home to see my family on the weekends. I knew I would definitely start on their roster. Where I went to high school, I knew one of the kids, James Bethel, who was a 4-time All-American for SUNY Oneonta, so he had good things to say about it. And I loved the campus. The landscape was beautiful. The professors were awesome. So I went there, and I think I had a 9-6 record. I didn't wrestle that much because I broke my nose and had surgery, and I tore my LCL.
Oh my God.
So then I got word that Coach V, who's now down here, like I said, was looking to leave SUNY Ulster, and he came down here and was like, hey, like, you want to like come down? And I was like, yeah, like we clicked really well and had a lot of success together, and I want to get the most out of like my athletics as I can, because obviously you have a short term, 4 or 5 years. So followed him down, and here I am.
What a story.
Yeah,
all over the place, but all successful, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so my next question for you is, you were the 2019 Male Athlete of the Year for your last school. Can you just briefly describe what it took for you to get to that point?
Yeah, so getting to that point just took a lot of hard work, whether it was getting up early to do an extra workout, maintaining my weight throughout the week, staying mentally tough during like cutting the weight to get down to 165, and making sure I was keeping on top of my schoolwork. Also doing practices and stuff like that, or putting in an extra practice after we already had a practice, and just like keeping that mindset, like I want to be the best, kind of thing. And definitely also having the support of my family and the trust of my coaches in me. So them pushing me every day definitely was a huge factor of getting me there, and just believing in myself. I think if you really dream something and put your mind to it, anything's possible for anybody.
I'm gonna quote that on here. Love it.
So yeah, that's how I got there. And
well, that's exciting. Hopefully you can rack up some awards in this coming year.
I know, I'm excited. I can't wait.
I'm sure. Okay, so what are some things you and your team are doing to stay fit and to stay in shape? As you were just saying, like this sport is very tolling on the body. So kind of like because the practices are a little different, like outside practices, what are you guys doing to stay healthy leading up to the spring?
Okay, so right now we have different phases, kind of like what the COVID did, like for the general public to get back into regular society. So right now I think we might have hit phase 2, but phase 1 you're only allowed to have like 5 or 6 people to a group. So we have A, B, C, D, and E, and my group has like 4 of my good friends, really good teammates that I clicked with really well. But what we've been doing as a team wise is waking up pretty much like every day besides Wednesdays, or if coach, like we did good this week, he'll give us day off. We'll wake up at 5:45, fill out our symptom sheets 30 minutes prior to practice, come in. One group might have a lift that morning, and then the other guys, like the rest of the groups, will do like a run, whether it's to Calmia or like around the Sunoco. So definitely a lot of conditioning. Also we'll do like kind of HIIT workout kind of thing, like a circuit. So we'll do that, and then also we will do sprints and stuff, which kind of stinks, but you know, it gets us in really good shape. Also in the weight room, like I mentioned, our coaching staff has given us 8 different lifts, so particularly focusing on different muscle groups. So that's also how we stay in shape. And then whether it's like getting together like as a team to just like, I don't know, go play like maybe like a basketball game, just like us organizing it. So yeah, that's how we're staying in shape. And what they're doing is pretty good. I kept track on my iPhone with that health data app of how much we've been running. So we've ran probably, I think the last time I did it was 122.94 miles since I've been down here. So since like,
oh my gosh,
practice in like late August. So yeah.
So obviously I'm thinking I need to come train with you all, because I'm training for a half marathon, and things you guys are doing are right up my alley.
That is one of my life goals, is to do a marathon.
I want to do a marathon, but for now
I can't wait.
I'm gonna stick to the half marathon until later in life, and then maybe I'll do a full. But okay, so my last question for you is, what is your major, which you kind of already pointed to, but what is your major again, and what do you plan on doing with that post-college?
So my major here is criminology. I really like it because I'm always interested in the way that people think and why people do certain things, and then like how it like affects their life later on. So a little bit of like I like how criminals think, I like how just people think in general. So it like kind of focuses on like, there's like three of them. There's the criminology, there's sociology, and psychology. So those are all like interesting to me. But what I plan on doing with that in the future is either becoming maybe some psychologist, possibly like an athletic director, because I really love sports and I love kids and I love being around people, and I like just investing myself into like my local community. Also, I would love to be in the FBI and do white collar crimes. That has interested me for a long time after watching the Netflix series White Collar. That was amazing and definitely made me get clicked like right away. I binge watched super fast. So that, or definitely I want to coach too. I got to fit that in somewhere. So that would be cool. It's just you gotta find the time frame of how to fit all that stuff in. So.
Well, that's awesome. Who knows?
Maybe
one day I'll be able to say I know an FBI agent.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
Yes. Well, that is awesome. That's all I had for you today. So I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us on this interview today. But so just good luck with everything. Good luck with the rest of your season. Good luck with whatever you decide to do in life. But that's all.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Definitely an opportunity that I won't forget, and just appreciate like getting my name out there and for you taking time out of the day. So it was also very nice meeting you, and
nice meeting you.
I'll see you in the near future, wherever this goes. So.
Possibly, who knows?
Alrighty. Well,
all right. Well, you have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye. That's all I had for today. For more info on all of these stories, you can find them linked on our Adobe Spark page, which can be found on all of our socials and webpage. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all right back here next Wednesday for the next episode of your SAC Weekly Roundup.